Welcome back to We Should Start a Podcast, the only podcast within a podcast. Each week, we'll attempt to create the next hit audio show as we pitch our brightest ideas for pods about anything and everything. But more often than not, pretty much nothing. I am your host, Podmaster and Commander Dino, and joining me, as always, are my good friends, Podmaster Chief Danders, and Davey Hogan is here too. Let's get into it.
We should start a podcast.
Welcome back to We Should Start a Podcast, the only podcast where the host does bits so bad and esoteric that they literally have to restart the show.
There were multiple reasons. Maybe we'll release it on the Patreon in years to come.
This is attempt 2 for everyone listening out there. I started into Joey Deschanel again. We don't want to get into that. Bad character from last week. I did a few other New Girl characters. I'll briefly mention them here if anyone's interested. LeBorn Morris, Winston, international Black Ops agent, and Fake Johnson, middle-aged British guy who kind of looks like Jake Johnson driving a taxi. So we'll move on from that. We won't talk about them. Dave hates those characters.
Don't like them.
Me, who made those terrible characters based on New Girl characters, is Dino, your host. The person who hates those characters is Dave. Please, Dave, introduce yourself.
What is happening? I feel like you added an extra good onto good friend there at the start into the intro. We're not that.
I wanted to bring the vibes back.
Friends, so don't be misleading the listeners, please. If you don't mind.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's true. You're my colleagues. You're just my work colleagues.
Yeah, that's where it stops.
I put out an ad on Craigslist for 2 podcast professionals to help me make this shit.
And they couldn't make it. And we came.
And up in my top right of my screen, looks like he's sitting on a beach somewhere, is Danders.
Hello.
How the hell are you, bud?
Yeah, fab. I'd say, how are you doing today? But I've already asked you that question a bunch of times, so I know you're doing pretty well.
Pretty well. I'm a little bit worse now. I gave a garbage intro. I hope this one's a little bit better. Still probably pretty garbage.
But yeah, we're officially live. Pretty mad to hear yourself.
Oh yeah, that's true actually.
Right?
Yeah, if you're out there in listening land, go listen to the first, I don't know when this will come out, but
maybe many
there'll probably
months'
be
time.
at least four or 5 episodes before this one.
Yeah.
Maybe 6.
But we've just heard ourselves for the first time on Spotify recently, which was
Yeah.
dog shit.
It's actually really, really interesting to hear your voice on a professional, serious platform. And then just hear all the absolute shit that we're spouting.
I had a terrible time that first episode as well. I just wanted the ground to swallow me up. I didn't have the best day, but you listeners will get to know me.
It happens.
Second episode was tough as well. There was a lot of talking by me.
That's the whole point of a podcast, Dave, right?
No, but I mean, it's embarrassing to listen to it. And also because 99% of the video calls that I'm on are work calls. So I'm still like in kind of work call kind of mode with my voice, which is strange.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make that a little more comfortable, a little more smooth, as if we're talking in person. But it's tough.
Definitely listening to myself, I've figured out a lot of how I want not to be. You know what I mean? So that's a learning for sure that we're taking with us. So yeah, I'm on the same page.
The meat is stinking.
That's a little podcast specific soundbite that will probably make more sense later on.
How much time do you have to go fishing for these things in the week? Like I swear you're a busy man, you know?
I'm a busy man. I put a lot of time. I put too much time into this. I get up early in the morning before work, sometimes at 6 a.m. and do podcast stuff for an hour or 2. And you wouldn't know it from listening to the podcast that there's that much work goes into it.
Well, we do our best to unpick it as much as we can.
It took me 2 hours alone just to find the meat is stinking.
So what did you click? Gordon good, Gordon bad? Sorry, listeners, I'm looking at Dino's
Surely
soundboard.
Gordon bad, right?
He's labeled stuff. Maybe some of this stuff should be hidden from you, but...
You're giving them a peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, that's it. The Wizard of Oz. Shows his leg.
And also to show everyone the quality of our podcast out there, we don't even have a professional soundboard. This is Google's version of PowerPoint, their browser version, and I've made a table with sound bits that I can click. So I've kind of created my own DIY soundboard in the Google ecosystem.
They're notoriously unreliable as well. So sometimes
Yeah.
Tina will hit one and we'll have to wait for 15 seconds, and then he's got to edit it out in the magic editing.
That's all removed in the edit. But I was going to say we're not here to talk about podcast, but that's exactly what we're
That's
here
why
to
we're
do.
here.
Yeah, this is a podcast about podcasts.
Within podcasts.
This kind of is a podcast, except I don't really see it that much as a podcast because it's a placeholder, right?
Yeah.
Me, Dave, and Danders are trying to find a hit podcast idea to go number one in all the charts, but we don't have that perfect pod idea yet. So this thing that you're listening to, don't really know what to call it, is the placeholder where we're pitching our podcast ideas to each other, trying to find that golden idea. We've had some bangers, but we still haven't found the right show. So we will continue to pitch and pod until we do. Do we think that's a good explanation, guys?
We are
think you nailed
spitballing like a motherfucker. That's what we're doing. Throwing shit against the wall, hoping it sticks.
Not a lot has stuck so far. We
No,
just have a big pile of shit on the
Yeah,
ground
yeah.
next to the wall.
Shitty wall.
And there's just a pale brown stain on the wall, but no shit.
And speaking of pale brown stains, it's now time to hear from our Podmaster of the Week, which is, of course, your boy, your Podmaster in Commando. Podmaster in Commando. Pond a microphone, your boy, Dino. To remind everyone how this will work, I will be pitching my latest and potentially greatest podcast idea and taking us through a complete trial episode. Following the podcast within a podcast, colloquially known as a podception, we will collectively critique my show based on a classic podcast rating system. But before I pitch, I am legally obligated to remind all the pod goblins out there that WSSAP never do any research as to whether these podcast ideas exist in the real world. So by accessing the content of this podcast, including the information presented, opinions expressed, and creative elements, you are hereby forfeiting rights to any intellectual property you may already hold in relation to your podcast. But you're in luck because all the terrible character bits that I've done over the past few podcasts are completely uncopyrighted and royalty-free. So by all means, please share them with your loved ones.
You're getting better at spitting those T's and C's so quickly that people can't hear it in the kind of classic commercial sense. You know?
Oh, really? You think it's too fast?
No. That's
you're
the point.
getting
You know,
better.
you don't want them to understand all of the legal writing. So I guess
That's true. Oh.
right.
Small text.
Yeah. Like when you listen to those North American ads and they say may contain side effects including death and severe
Severe
what do you
death.
call it? So severe death. Yeah.
the way that you kind of like may include side effects including death and slowed down and sped up, you kind of sounded like E40. Anyways, no one wants to hear about that, but what people do want to hear about today is my latest podcast idea, and that podcast is called Pitchfork. Do you guys have any idea what this podcast might be about?
Is it another Halloween-based podcast where we hunt down witches?
No, it is not at all, Dave. Halloween has passed. We're forgetting about that. I do still have a vaguely Halloween-y background on the screen, but it is not that, Dave.
It's seasonal.
unfortunately.
It's seasonal.
It's seasonal. Yeah, it's fall rather than Halloween.
Yeah, you don't have any ghoulish, ghastly paraphernalia of spookness. You just have lots of pumpkins surrounding you.
Paraphernalia of Spookness is a good band name, maybe.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, could be. Anyways, Danders, do you have any idea what this podcast is
No,
about?
actually, I had the same idea as Dave with Pitchfork. I thought that he kind of had the right idea there. So I guess Pitchfork is a music publication,
Oh,
It is,
something
yeah.
like that.
getting warmer. You're actually scorching hot. You are scorching hot, Danders.
I'll forget that you asked us to prepare for this episode. So we do have some material each. So
You're giving
we're
too much of a
playing
peek
dumb.
behind the curtain now. I thought I was giving a little bit too much away talking about my soundboard, but this is really done it
you're
now.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
We don't want to shatter the mirage. Yeah, you're right.
Someone is truly going to take our IP now. We're going to see fucking LeBorn Morses everywhere now.
That one won't hurt you as much as Joey Deschanel, though.
Imagine how impressive it would be if what we had prepared was completely off the dome on the spot.
Well, a lot of professional comedy podcasts are that because they're just amazing comedians who are great at improv, which is not what we are.
No.
And with that, we are now ready to dive into the world of Pitchfork.
It's fantastic, it's clever, it's original. I don't know what to say, I'm speechless. This is not good.
1 minute, you have 1 minute left.
I'm gonna change this plate. I want it to look tighter and cleaner.
Upstairs, get your bags packed.
This one's standard.
It is absolutely on the money.
Hello and welcome to Pitchfork, a show about celebrity restaurant chains. Each week, Danders, Davey, and I will pitch our delectable ideas for the next hit celebrity-affiliated eatery. We'll talk diners, drive-ins, and dive into the culinary experience yet to be cultivated in each newly imagined A-lister food joint. This week, we are presenting our pitches for musician-backed bistros. In 2021, Detroit saw Eminem open the doors to a popular pasta joint in his hometown. Mom Spaghetti, named after the famous line in his multi-platinum hit Lose Yourself, seized a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to become an instant classic for music and pasta lovers alike. Who will be the next celebrity to lose themselves in the culinary world and prove that they can cook up more than just chart toppers? We will find out today. How are you guys?
Good.
Are you ready?
I feel like a bit of a fool, even though I knew vaguely what it was about, and you gave us the name. Pitchfork didn't even click in my head as you said it. I feel like such an idiot.
Good.
Anyway.
You get it now because we're pitching
No,
restaurant
I get it
ideas.
now.
Restaurant ideas.
I get it now.
Also, that music intro was awesome. I need
Yeah.
I need that download, man. That was so
Oh, do you like
good.
it?
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah.
That was another 4 hours after work one day.
The payoff is worth it for sure.
Yeah, so basically how this is going to work is we will each take a turn to pitch our new restaurant idea. We'll talk about the celeb backer, the theme, interior design, uniforms, menu items, and anything else really that will make up the dining experience. But please make it a tasty pitch because the best idea that we decide on today will be pitched officially to top agents in the industry. Okay? You've heard of Scooter Braun? You know Scooter Braun? He's the famous former manager of Justin Bieber and Taylor Swift.
Sounds
Do you know
about
of him?
right.
Sounds.
Yeah, well, we have an in with Scooter Brunch. Okay. He's a lesser known and more food oriented talent manager. And let's just say it's not just Simon Cowell we have to impress today, it's also Simon's Bowels.
Yeah. Fuck off.
Yeah, you saw that one coming.
Come on.
And in case you still really don't get it, which is completely understandable because it's a pretty complicated idea, I'll give you some examples. So I could pitch something like Outcast Steakhouse, which is a grill serving the famous special Entree 3000, or something like Melton John's, which could be an Elton John-backed grilled cheese diner. So that's the kind of shit you're going to hear today. If you don't like puns, you can probably turn this off right now. I've heard a lot of big things about what Dave has prepped for today, so I'm actually going to switch things up a little bit. And the host today is not going to go first with his pitch. I think Davey Hogan is going to take the reins and go first with his pitch. And I'm actually really hoping that this is going to be the one that we pitch to Scooter Brunch.
Jesus, this is a lot of pressure, man. This is a lot of pressure. So how do you want me to do this? Do you want me to give you the name first and then...
The meat is stinking.
Do you want me to give you the name first and then you talk about it, or do you want me to just go straight into
so
it? Okay.
you can do it however you want. You can talk about the celeb backer first and then jump into the name. You can give the name straight away and then go through the dining experience. You can really, I know I gave you an outline of things that I wanted you to talk about, but they don't have to be in order or necessarily all covered.
Yeah.
I just want to hear your vision any way you want to do it.
Right, okay. Okay, so the restaurant that I'm pitching is called Riri's Tiki Bar and Grill. Can you guess what celebrity? Yeah, I'm sure you can, right?
Rihanna?
It's Rihanna,
Yeah,
right?
baby. Yeah, baby.
That was delicious.
Thank you, Gordon. Thank you. It's your typical tiki bar style restaurant, woven furniture, colorful textiles, paying homage to Rihanna's roots, being from Barbados and all. All drinks, with the exception of beer, come with a little umbrella Ella, as well as some chandelier-style lights shaped like... chandelier-style kind of light situation, shaped like umbrellas hanging from the ceiling. The walls are decorated with many mirrors, of course, which the perimeters are encrusted with diamonds so that you, while visiting the restaurant, can shine bright like a diamond. In typical tiki bar fashion, the restaurant has neon signs hanging around in various places, quotes and lyrics, one of which is above the exit door to the car park that says, "Shut up and drive." Most of the restaurant will have kind of a pink trim as the base color, and we would associate that mostly with Rihanna's style throughout the years, kind of a dark kind of pink. Most of the material furniture will be turquoise, that will complement the pink quite well throughout the restaurant. The staff uniforms, of course, Fenty branded clothing, of course, but it'll be kind of a streetwear style that Rihanna sports so well. We want our guests to be comfortable, and for them to be comfortable, the staff needs to be comfortable. Moving on to the menu. We're looking
Maybe
at...
we could do like Q&A after each kind of
Sure.
round or whatever. Cause
Yeah, let's do that.
It's kind of hard to hold on to all the thoughts until the end, but it would be good to kind of dig into it or whatever. Do you know
That's
what I mean?
fair.
It sounds like
What's the...
go for it, Dunders.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to note that it sounds like a very eclectic interior. I can't really put a
I
finger
feel
on what the style theme truly is.
Yeah. Where's the turquoise and pink from, out of interest? Is that like a Rihanna specific sort of aesthetic?
Yeah, man. When I was looking into like a lot, apparently, I don't know. I don't listen to. I'm not a big Rihanna fan, but apparently, pink has been her primary color throughout her career with all her kind of artistic styles and stuff like that. And I just thought turquoise goes well with pink. It kind of complements the color quite well. Turquoise doesn't necessarily relate to Rihanna. But if you can
Plus,
kind of...
she's our biggest podcast listener, so that's probably why you're
She
kind
is.
of honoring her.
But I mean, look, okay, it's a tiki bar. You're looking at kind of woven furniture. That was like you're thinking the chairs and stuff, woven furniture. You're having kind of relaxed bohemian style. It's a bit Caribbean kind of style. Very airy. The front of the bar is open, so there's nice fresh air coming through the whole time. Ideally, it's going to be on a beach, kind of where Danders is right now.
Yeah.
You read my mind exactly, Dave. I was thinking a perfect location for this would be you could buy out the Cactus Club, which is on English Bay.
Oh, damn right. Yeah. That would be sick. That would be super sick. Yeah. That kind of spot. So you've fresh sea air kind of coming through the restaurant while you're visiting.
Wouldn't play very well in Ireland.
No.
That fresh sea air would be knocking you backwards.
This restaurant is definitely not in Ireland. But no, yeah, it's like, I mean, we've all been to that kind of style bar on holiday. It's that kind of feel, that kind of laid back vibe. And as I said, there's kind of neon signs plastered around with Rihanna lyrics and shit like that. Bright pink, of course, that kind of give it a kind of a, I don't know, kind of party-ish kind of vibe. But it's a tiki bar. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be light. Yeah.
What was it called? Riri's Tiki Bar, was it?
Riri's Tiki Bar and Grill. I actually, well, let me share my screen. I actually made a logo for it.
Oh.
Well, I mean, my best friend Gemini made a logo for it.
Okay.
I'll give you a quick demonstration of this.
It just says Riri's
Wow.
Tiki Bar and Grill in Times New Roman.
No, we'll put the thumbnail up on our socials.
We will,
for,
yeah.
No, yeah, that'll be a part of the social promo for this episode. But it's cool, right? I mean, fuck me.
Yeah, lots of turquoise. No, it's an unreal logo.
It's
Rihanna's
sick. Anyway.
looking fine in that logo too, I have to say. Hey, can you send that to me privately after this?
yeah. So yeah, that's the interior, that's the style and design of the place. Do you have any more questions before we move on to the menu?
Dive right in, Dave.
Sick. Right, so the menu, let's start with appetizers. We got the rude boy ribs, spicy jerk ribs with a mango habanero glaze.
Ooh.
I put a lot of thought into the actual ingredients here because
Delicious.
Dino knows I'm quite into food. So we have the rude boy ribs, we have SOS, which stands for sweet onion samosas. Crispy samosas filled with sweet caramelized onions and served with a tamarind chutney. The last appetizer, which is actually our more popular appetizer, it's called Wild Wild Tots. It's tater tots with dipping sauce that comes with a side of DJ salad. DJ salad! And that's actually a vegan dish for our vegan guests.
What's the DJ in the sort of other side of the pun? Is it like Dijon or something, or is it just DJ salad?
DJ Khaled.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, is there another side of the pun? Like, is it just the DJ side of things, or is there like a second meaning, a double entendre?
No, it's just because Wild Wild Thoughts was made by DJ Khaled and Rihanna was on it, and it's just got a side
Very
of
valid.
DJ
Yeah.
salad. I don't know what's not to
it
get
sounds
here,
lovely.
to be
It sounds
honest. Moving on to the main courses, we have Diamonds in the Sky, jerk chicken, grilled jerk chicken with a pineapple salsa and a side of coconut rice.
Sorry, Dave, can I stop you there? That I wish I did this earlier. I was racking my brain trying to think of like a salad DJ Khaled thing, and the best I could come up with, albeit about 20 seconds late, is "We the Cress." Continue.
Nice, because anyway, main courses: Diamonds in the Sky, jerk chicken, grilled chicken, pineapple salsa, side of coconut rice. We found love in A Hopeless Place. It's a less traditional dish, but a massive hit with our Irish and British guests. It's a fillet of battered plaice with some mushy peas and a choice of fries or salad. And then the last item is Where Have You Been burger, a flavorful black bean burger with avocado, mango salsa, and a spicy aioli. Also a vegan dish for our vegan guests. Desserts, we have Love the Way You Pie, a beautiful rhubarb pie topped with whipped cream and crushed up M&Ms. Actually,
Nice.
funny that fun fact, a slice of pie in Barbados is $3.50, St. Lucia is $3, Belize $2.50, and $2 in Cuba. Those are the pie rates of the Caribbean. Thought that was quite funny. Anyway, as Dino made very clear at the start, we are not comedians. We got Pond the Cheesecake, a fresh raspberry cheesecake that's made with passion fruit liqueur to give the dessert a Caribbean kind of twist. Love on the Brain Freeze, a layered frozen dessert with mango sorbet, passion fruit mousse, and a coconut whipped cream. And that's the desserts. The drinks, we got Disturb Beer, spelled Disturb Beer. Our house lager, a light lime beer with hints of lemon. A Rude Boy Rum Punch, a potent rum punch with tropical fruit juices and a splash of grenadine. And we got the Umbrella Ella cocktail, a layered cocktail with blue curacao, coconut rum, pineapple juice, and topped with a mini umbrella. Like all our drinks, topped with a mini umbrella, except for our beers. What you think of the menu?
Absolutely.
How much does each item
delicious.
cost?
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off.
Where are you sourcing your ingredients from?
Shut up. Just for our listeners, I asked the boys last night, I was like, do we need to go into that much detail with prices and stuff? And they said no.
We berated him.
Yeah.
You're like, Dave,
I would've.
you applied for a local business license, right?
No, I mean,
Scooter's going to be pissed.
Scooter likes his details.
I would have put in prices, albeit a bit overkill and probably a bit of waffle for the listeners. So,
Yeah.
did not.
But Dave, it's a delicious, delicious menu. I haven't eaten anything today yet, and I am starving listening to that beautiful
Salvation.
selection of foods that you've put in front of us here. I have a suggestion for another dessert. Maybe it's not really Caribbean flavor, but you could do like an ASAP Rocky Road.
That's actually really clever. I never thought of that. Yeah, I'll jot that down. I was making out the menu and I was like, fuck, I should open a restaurant, boys. This is a great idea.
Dave opens a Rihanna themed restaurant.
Without her permission.
Just say that.
No,
Gets
this
sued
is
for
a
more than he
Rihanna
ever
I knew
could
from
imagine.
school. This isn't
Rihanna McCarthy from the store.
from the stove.
But yeah, so we got some music, of course. The music is predominantly Rihanna music, with the exception of Sundays, where the vibe will be dedicated to her partner ASAP Rocky and his affiliates. The menu on that night will have discounts on the vegan options because he himself is a committed vegan, which I only learnt while doing the research for this.
ASAP Rocky's vegan?
Yeah, man. Well,
Whoa,
he's
didn't know that.
definitely vegetarian. I'm pretty sure he's
Yeah.
vegan as well.
Cool. Good fact.
Aren't they all?
Either way, that's his tie into the restaurant. Extras. So as Dino knows, I'm a bit of a slut for arcade games. So we got a games room out back. We got all the classic games such as Pong, table tennis. We have this new arcade game from Japan. It's a first-person shooter where you play as a dog and go around robbing banks. It's called Bitch Better Have My Money. It's a big hit with the kids.
Nice.
Big hit with the kids. Daily happy hour specials. We got S&M, which is a small platter of our SOS samosas and a tropical margarita. Tuesday nights is Ka-Riri Oki night. 50% off drinks for anybody who can successfully sing a Rihanna song without the lyrics. And Sunday nights, as mentioned, we'll be serving our vegan meals at a reduced price as a salute to Rocky's ongoing commitment to being vegan. And that pretty much wraps up the restaurant, which is I thought it was nice little bow on top there. It's I think we should open it.
What? What
we should
was
go
that
there.
laugh?
We apologize to all of our vegans in the listening group. We did not know he was going to do that.
Yeah.
He's unhinged sometimes. But no, he's right. Vegans are gay.
I think I read that somewhere.
Yeah, it is a fact. It's a tried and tested fact.
Mm-hmm.
That's why my sister had to start eating meat again. Ayo.
Oh, Jesus.
That's actually funny.
This is very quickly deteriorating.
I hope my parents won't listen to this one. I told them not to listen to the first one, so there's a good chance they never will. No, it sounds unreal, David. I'm impressed with all of the preparation that you put in. It sounds delicious, not going to lie. I think we should grab Rihanna and tell her pull up a tiki chair and let's have a good time. What do you say?
Let's go into business. I mean,
Let's do it.
What a great idea.
do it.
I think Scooter Brunch is going to absolutely love this one. And Dave, where do you think your first location is going to be? Where are you planning?
Barbados?
It would be nice to have it in somewhere like Barbados, of course. But like, if you're thinking business, it would probably do well in a city like Vancouver, New York, you know, LA even, probably, if you want some sort of good beach vibes. It's gotta be on a beachfront for sure, because it'll fit the aesthetic. There's no point putting it in fucking, you know, downtown Boston. Like, it's not gonna do well there.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably on the beachfront of maybe. I mean, Dino's suggestion was great on taking over where the restaurant in Vancouver you mentioned,
Cactus Club,
sorry, or either of them that are on the beachfront, taking over that kind of establishment and placing ourselves there.
Mm-hmm. Well, Dave, I love it. Definitely the best idea I've heard so far today.
Thanks for that.
I like the downtown Boston idea. I like the idea of like walk up on the street, take off your 3-piece suit, jump into a Hawaiian shirt. You know, you can see the beach right in front of you, and then just step off from the city lights and into paradise.
Just take a load off.
So maybe downtown Boston.
Yeah, it's a portal to another world.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Maybe when the chain expands, we can look at things like that,
franchise.
and maybe we could look at other. This could actually be a good kind of niche chain or franchise. Have like restaurants that are dedicated purely to big celebrities like Rihanna, Drake, ASAP, Eminem, whatever. These huge, Michael Jackson, any of these, because it don't. What's that restaurant that does that kind of thing? What is it?
Hard Rock Cafe.
That's the one. Yeah.
Or Planet Hollywood.
Something
as well.
like that, but like dedicated specifically to one artist and their career and stuff like that. I think it'd be cool.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Save it for another
Save
pod,
it.
Dave.
That's something somebody's gonna steal.
Dave, take a bow. It was a great idea.
Hey,
Heyo.
thank you.
I was gonna try and make an unfaithful joke, like you go there and you then like that.
And you
means you're
cheat on
cheating.
it. Yeah. It's the Ashley Madison of restaurants. So great idea, Dave.
Thank
And
you.
now we are ready to hear from me. So my restaurant is going to be backed by none other than the Grammy Award-winning rap artist known as Megan Thee Stallion. Okay?
Nice.
This Houston native rose to fame in 2018 when videos of her freestyling went viral. After signing with 1501 Certified Entertainment, Megan Thee Stallion immediately conquered the mainstream and ushered in a new season of Hot Girl Summer. 6 years, 3 Grammys, and over 50 charting singles later, The Stallion remains at the top of her artistic game. But what about her food game? Well, in late 2021, Megan agreed to a franchise development deal with fast food restaurant Popeyes. This deal resulted in the creation of a spicy new celebrity condiment named Hottie Sauce. So we know that Megan is no stranger to the food and beverage industry. And with that in mind, today I'm proud to pitch Megan Thee Stallion's latest food venture, which is Vegan These Stallions. Okay? Vegan These Stallions.
I was gonna say hopefully no horse meat, but you've got that covered.
So, as Dave might have alluded to, this restaurant is probably pretty gay.
Pink and turquoise.
Vegan These Stallions is a glitzy, cowboy-themed vegan restaurant serving only the biggest, baddest, and boldest vegan barbecue in town. And we also serve a lot of other things because it's a fusion restaurant, okay? And in fact, the food is mostly not barbecue-based. So she just released a song, believe in the last couple of weeks, called Bigger in Texas, and we're going to stay true to that theme. Everything is going to be huge in a very literal sense with the food portions, and then also huge in spirit with big, brash, boisterous, sexy vibes. And I'm proud to say that this is the world's first ever 100% Tory Lanes free restaurant, okay? Tory Lanes free. Actually, I should clarify that I mean no Tory lanes allowed, because just listening back to that there kind of sounded like I was saying free Tory lanes. which we don't want at all.
No, we don't want that at all.
He's a pretty bad guy. He is not a good guy. Okay, music, terrible person.
So with that being said, are the shots served along the ground?
We're gonna move right past that into this Texas BBQ themed restaurant. Okay, this is a fun fact. I didn't realize that Megan Thee Stallion is not only a rap artist, but she's also a philanthropist. She's done so much work for the people of Houston in Texas that the Houston mayor has actually proclaimed May 2nd Megan Thee Stallion Day in Houston. Is
that true?
Yeah, she has a key to the city.
Wow.
A symbolic cowboy hat and belt buckle.
But the key to the city is not symbolic. It actually opens every door.
It opens every door.
Every door.
There was a bill passed that Megan Thee Stallion can come into your house whenever she wants. And she can do whatever she wants.
Whatever the hell she wants.
So the design of this restaurant, the interior is going to be designed kind of like a barn theme. So we're talking a lot of wood, dirt, hay bales, kind of cozy lighting. The tables are going to be kind of flipped, repurposed horse troughs. Does that make sense? Picture like barn aesthetic, but with lots of splashes of color, kind of like Dave's. So we have like barn aesthetic, but we have like neons and hot pink splashing around, if that makes sense. All the servers are going to be riding horses, okay?
The place sounds quite messy. I think you need to get a bucket and a mop.
Ooh. That's clever.
A little WAP joke for our deep cut listeners out there.
I like it a lot.
I think that's the only Megan Thee Stallion song I actually know.
To be fair, I'm not a huge Megan Thee Stallion fan, but I've listened to a little bit of the music while preparing for this and read up a little bit more, and I think she's a real stand-up gal. And she's going to be opening a hit restaurant. And all the servers are going to be serving, and I mean that in kind of like a drag race sense, in sexy cowboy costumes. So we're talking lots of sexy hats, lassos, a lot of skin, cleavage. And then for the fellas, they could be wearing like maybe assless cowboy chaps. You know what I mean? But not too assless, because this is also a family restaurant.
I feel
so just
like
partially assless chaps.
This isn't a restaurant pitch. This is Dino describing one of his fantasies, I feel.
The meat is stinking.
Good job.
So yeah,
I love your PG assless chaps. How assless are they?
They're just like partially assless, okay?
The outside cheeks.
Yeah, exactly. Just a little bit of cheek. It needs to be sexy, but it also needs to be kid friendly, which is the kind of vibe I've been going for this podcast as well. So let's talk menu now. So obviously it's all vegan the Stallions, with a Texas barbecue fusion twist, kind of, because as you'll hear now, a lot of the food isn't barbecue based at all. So the first starter, which I'm going to be pitching today, is going to be called Megan These Scallions. So this is a refined dish showcasing the delicate beauty and powerful flavor of this simple allium. And it could be like scallions, like green onions cooked in a number of different ways. So one could be like deep fried, another one could be
blanched,
sous vide or some shit. I don't know. I'm not a fucking chef.
Yeah.
But we are going to have the best chefs when I say that. We're going to have the best chefs. And they're going to do an absolute stand-up job here. So that's the first dish, Megan These Scallions. And with starters, you know that you can't have a starter without the classic bread and butter, right? Like, that's classic. You get your bread roll, you get your butter.
Some bread, some butter, yeah.
Yeah, and we all know about Hot Girl Summer, right?
Well, not really. I was all taken with Brat Girl Summer, but you know about that?
Well, it started with, I know about that.
She started it with Hot Girl Summer, is that right?
She started it with Hot Girl Summer, and we are starting our meal with the Stallion's famous vegan bread rolls and hot curled butter. Okay.
Is there a joke in there?
It just sounds like Hot Girl Summer.
Oh, okay. Right. It's like, maybe I'm doing a disservice with the dead silence. Like, no, that was worthy of dead silence.
Yeah. So that's our hot curled butter.
I don't know why, but that grosses me out. Hot curled butter. It gets under my skin. That feels gross. Like I'm reminded of hot curling toes for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's gross.
It is kind of grotesque. I'll give you that.
I'm sure it's delicious and sexy, but PG-13 as well. So,
well, that's a little taster of what we have at the start of our meal. Obviously, I'm not going to go through the whole menu. For the mains, we have a standout special, which we serve all throughout the year, and this is our WAP. This is our wet ass pasta. This is sopping wet pasta, absolutely drenched, soaking wet. Ben Shapiro hates it. Vegan, of course. I was thinking maybe it's so wet that it could be strained at the table. You know, like fancy restaurants do that.
Nice.
They like serve something or like cook something at the table. Pasta could be strained at the table.
But it's still soaking when it hits your
It's
plate.
soaking wet. They don't.
Like.
They only like partially. They have wearing partial assless chaps, and they partially. Yeah, exactly. So you're getting a slop of wet pasta on your plate, and then that's finished off with Cardi BBQ sauce, okay?
Nice.
Because it is a collab with Cardi B.
Nice.
So that is the WAP, the wet ass pasta. And that is our showcase main dish. And then for dessert, we have a dish which is inspired by Megan Thee's hit single with Dua Lipa. And it's kind of like Dave's. It is exactly what it sounds like. Sweetest Pie is the song, and Sweetest Pie is the Swedish pie. Sweetest Pie is the dessert.
I would love if you took like an easy give of a dessert and you made it Swedish for like no obvious reason. There's an IKEA shop next door. So
Yeah. And I was thinking the Sweetest Pie could be a rotating thing. I know Dua Lipa is British, so we could do some British pies. I know most British pies are savory though, right, Danders?
Yeah, meat pies, right?
I mean, yeah. I guess that's fair to say. Yeah. You have your pork pie type thing, and then when you think of a pie in America, it's like an apple pie, right?
An apple, like the cartoony floating through a window style pie.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
You have it on a windowsill, and the waves of scent kind of goes outside, and somebody floats by, you can smell it.
Yeah. And a pie in Ireland means it's got potato on top.
Does it?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Think about like a cottage pie.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah. So would you say that tarts are pies, Dander? So say like if we did a Bakewell tart, which is a very British thing, could that be considered a pie?
I think a lot of people use the terms interchangeably, pie and tart, but like in globalization goes both ways. Like apple pie is very, very common here, of course. I don't know. There might be nuances between tart and pie. I'm pretty sure there is, but they are kind of synonyms.
If I can weigh in there from a Irish and British perspective, I would have considered a sweet pie to be a tart, like you'd say an apple tart, and you'd call a savoury pie a pie. That's what I'd refer to them as. But Americans, of course, like everything, kind of call an apple pie an apple pie. And,
I think our pie bit is the best segment of the whole podcast so far, right? Why don't we do a
We're
pie one
transitioning
next
right
week?
now to a pie cast. So that's the menu anyways. Any questions about the menu before I move into my final pitch?
How much does each one cost? No, go for it.
Okay, so yeah, that's basically it. Need I say any more? I mean, it's obviously a hit idea, and I'm just going to finish off with my final pitch here. Vegan the Stallions. Welcome families, foodies, bashes. We got bami, smoothies, pastas. Edamame, loose leaf cabbage. That's a salad. Vegan the Stallions. Have a plant-based, chewy catfish. We got soybeans, sous vide scallions. If your soy leaks, you get napkins. Satisfaction. Vegan the Stallions. Satisfaction. Vegan the Stallions. Come on down to Vegan the Stallions today. Scooter brunch. You're not going to want to miss out on this one.
Did you say families, foodies, and fascists?
No, it was like bashes. We're inviting people to have parties there and functions.
Oh, okay. That's less fun.
Fascists can eat there.
Okay,
but
we won't check when you get in the door.
we're not explicitly inviting fascists.
Okay.
And was that the official instrumental, or was that something you made yourself, kind of based on that instrumental?
That was the instrumental for the Savage remix featuring Beyonce, which is
okay.
Megan Thee Stallion's, I think, most streamed song
So
ever.
so that's monetization out the window. So I guess.
Well, we don't have any ads to monetize off anyways. What do you think we're monetizing?
Our pie
Who knows?
chat.
Yeah. Who knows?
We're going to be sponsored by Big Pie.
That's a get. That's a big get.
Yeah. So that's my pitch. That was just a little, maybe an idea for an advert that we could run for the restaurant.
It was good. Well done.
Killer. No, yeah, fair play. Another 6 a.m. get up before work to put together men.
Put together a terrible rap.
Fascist? No, I can't say fascist. Excluding everyone else.
If your soy leaks, you get napkins. Fuck.
No, it
So
tickled
that's
me.
it.
Yeah, I love the work. I'm glad you put it in.
I'm glad that it tickled you because all I heard while I was singing that was deafening silence.
I thought we were giving you the respect of allowing you to finish. I didn't think we were
Yeah.
supposed to row in with our ad libs, you know.
Yeah. So that is it. If there's no more questions, we can move on to the final restaurant pitch of the day, which is from Danders.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm ready to rock. If there are no more questions. Okay, so mine is going to be called Cray Charles Tails and Feathers. So it's obviously a Ray Charles themed soul food restaurant. So he made soul music, soul food. It's a marriage made in heaven. So the kind of theory behind it all is that if you're in a soul mood, then you can experience soul food. You know, like it's not until you get into that state that you can really taste all of the taste. You know what I mean? So it is an experience-led restaurant. So it's a whole blind experience, basically. Everything is pitch black when you get in there. All of the staff are blind as well, which that isn't for a bit. That's just doing our bit for the community, okay?
That's philanthropy, right?
That's philanthropy. We're doing our bit for the community.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't say Ray Charles is the sponsor. It's more of an homage to him. You know, it's in honor of the great Ray Charles, the genius. So Cray Charles Tails and Feathers. It's basically a barbecue crab shack. We all kind of went similar themes here. I was worried we were all going to do rappers, and none of us did rappers, and we all did barbecue. But so let me get into some of the specs here. So it'll be outfitted in Vanta Black. Everything will be coded in Vanta Black, which is just in case anyone kind of sneaks a torch in there. So Vanta Black, for those who don't know, it's the blackest black that ever blacked. It's it absorbs all the light that hits it. So if you Google it, it's this eerie experience. So no light allowed in here, okay? Pay Ray some respect. So you're led to your chair by your guide dog. So we have like maybe 12 guide dogs on retainer who it can get a bit messy, but it is the experience, okay? You have to imagine that you're a blind person, you know what I mean? So it might get a bit messy with dogs sometimes, but it will help you appreciate the soul mood and the soul food. So give you
Can
some
I ask
ideas.
a question, Danders?
Yeah,
Actually,
fire away.
Maybe I shouldn't stop you, but I'm listening to your idea and I love it. I have to say that first. I love the idea. But soul food, like crayfish, all this kind of stuff, is quite messy food, and you're eating this completely in the dark.
Yeah, but the good thing is there will never be light, so you'll never know how messy it is if you follow me. Like there are cleaners, They are blind, if you know what I mean. But like, so they do their best, you know what I mean. But when everyone's out of there, you just kind of throw it all in the bin, mop it, and then you can start again. You know,
you're not going to want to wear your best clothes.
No.
To this restaurant.
Wear like clothes that you would wear if you were blind, if you know what I mean.
Oh my god!
What kind of clothes is that?
Oh, I don't know, Dave. Use your imagination. But so soul music obviously playing. We're gonna have a Ray Charles impersonator, like a really, really, really good one, and he's gonna be playing Ray Charles hits. And we're gonna do like a sing for your supper kind of moment where you can challenge him, and basically there's two pianos. He'll play a riff and sing a lick or whatever it's called, and you've got to echo it back. And Ray was a pretty good pianist, if you guys recall. He was pretty excellent, and so there'll be some, and if you can match it, then you can eat for free. So that's our little experience for the listener. you kind of could probably imagine what a lot of the menu items will be. So you've got shake a tail, which is a whole grilled cray tail and seasoned fries. You've got shake a feather, which is a half barbecue chicken and seasoned fries. You've got shake a tail and feather, as above. And then you've got a special, which is a bit of a reach, but I had to put it in there. It's a Ray's Mumbo Gumbo number 5. so you've got gumbo, which is a classic sort of Cajun dish, and then mumbo jumbo was I think a West African god, but you would say it in these kind of voodoo setting, like it's all mumbo jumbo. Do you know what I mean? Which is very Cajun equivalent. So yeah, Lou Bega, if you're listening, you're welcome for the free promo. But Ray's Mumbo Gumbo number 5, it'll obviously be the 5th special, so that's where that one comes in. You know what I mean? It's just a little like Friends in Music, reference.
No, of course.
Of course. So there's blackjacks, which are instead of after dinner mints, because he has a song called Blackjack. These are little British licorice sweets, okay? The only drink on the menu is called One Mint Julep, which is another song of his. The dessert would be Making Whoopie Pie. So he has a song called Making Whoopie. Whoopie Pie is a classic southern.
All of our desserts are pies. For some reason,
we all went
all
pie,
barbecue.
all barbecue and all pie. We all knew what we were doing this week.
Yeah.
And annoyingly, we also had another reference in there. I had Hit the Rocky Road, Jack, but you went ASAP on my ass. You went ASAP on my ass. So yeah, he's got a song called Hit the Road, Jack, obviously. So have I said all of my fun parts? Let me wait till you get to the cost. That's the best part.
I didn't realize you were at the fun parts yet.
So it's gonna be based in Georgia. Like it's he was from Georgia. He's got a song called Georgia on My Mind, which this one certainly will be. And obviously, yeah, the whole idea, you guys have been to you haven't been to because they're far too bougie, neither have I, but you've heard of these like seafood restaurants that they play like sounds of the ocean and they kind of submerge you in water and stuff like that. And
submerge you in water.
But it's all supposed to heighten the experience. You're kind of, it's like sensory deprivation, you know what I mean? So my whole feeling about this is that that's really why Ray was such a genius, was he just had so much extra soul. Do you know what I mean? Because he was sort of funneled through his senses. So I know that if you're eating that messy meal in pitch black and you're hearing Ray Charles crooning through your ears, it's probably the best experience you'll ever have in your life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think that's maybe it, unless you guys had some questions.
How does Stevie Wonder feel about this?
I mean, Stevie's a friend. He has his own restaurant chain, so he's not too put out by it. He comes to dine every once in a while, but for him it's just a normal day. It's just a crab shack when he comes to visit. So
okay. Yeah, he doesn't know about the theme.
No, he doesn't
no one's
it.
told him.
No.
Do you know what Stevie Wonder's real name is?
Steveland.
You've told me. Yeah, you told me.
Yeah, Steveland Jenkins. Steveland.
It's a fantastic tidbit. I've shared it on multiple occasions. Yeah.
I love the idea, Danders.
Thank you.
Is a lot of this food, are you eating it with your hands? Is it that kind of sensory experience?
Yeah, they do put a lemon water bowl on the table. A lot of people don't see it, but it is there for afterwards.
But they mistake it for a drink.
That's right. Yeah.
That's not good.
No. This lemony, barbecuey water.
So you arrive at the door and a dog comes to collect you. Guide dog comes to collect you. And then when you're done your meal, a guide dog comes to collect you to bring you out.
I haven't thought of the exit. No, the dogs are for entry. So I guess you kind of make your own way.
Find your own way out. Best of luck.
I mean, you just don't want to get in the dog's way because there's quite a few of them. And they aren't trained or anything, so it's a bit of a mess, you know. I mean, we aren't made of money, do you know what I mean? So maybe we'll train them after, maybe we open one up in Louisiana, and then once we have the franchise agreement, we can train the dogs. But
I was going to say, are you just leaving the restaurant door open and dogs can wander in off the street smelling the food smells?
No, we don't want to allow too much light in to ruin the experience. So it isn't like an open door situation. It's actually like. It's a downstairs underneath the cellar, so you don't want any light to get in there. Do you know what I mean? That is part of the experience. So I guess we'll acquire the dogs legally, but they will just be dogs. But when I say just, I mean, we love a dog. Like every dog is special.
Yeah, we do.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's kind of everything I prepared, guys.
I love it. I love it. I
Thank
think
you.
in the interest of time, we will now take this opportunity between the three of us to decide which of these restaurants we're going to pitch to Scooter Brunch this week. It's a hard decision. 3 banger ideas. I just can't. I don't know. It's too close. I'm leaning towards Riri's Tiki Bar. What do we think?
Yeah.
I mean, I like it, but I came up with it, so I don't know. My vote doesn't count there. I like the mess that is. What was it? Ray's. What was the title of yours?
Cray Charles, Tails and Feathers.
Ray Charles.
There's tails and feathers everywhere.
Yeah.
No, like
yeah.
the point. The mess isn't the selling point. The mess is just a coincidence.
I understand that would be a terrible selling point, but I like the idea of it being just an eclectic mess, and the idea of your senses being elevated by the fact that you can't see shit. I like that. I like that experience based restaurant. That's cool.
Much appreciated.
You're on the money, Dave. I think this is an idea unlike any we've seen before in the food and beverage industry. And for that reason, I'm changing my mind. I'm casting my vote for, what is it called, Dunders, again?
Cray Charles, Tails and Feathers.
Cray Charles, Tails and Feathers. I love it. And I think, Dunders, you'd probably cast your vote for yourself as well.
Yeah, if that option is open, then I probably would. I love Crab Shacks and I love Ray Charles, so it's an easy one.
That was delicious.
Do you guys get the whole Tails and Feathers thing? He's got a song called Shake a Tail Feather, right?
Yeah.
I didn't get that, but now I do.
Well, that was a central point. I should have said that at the top. That's why all of the tail and feather references were in there.
It's all come back around. We have a winner chicken dinner. Cray Charles Tails and Feathers is officially going to be pitched to top Fuzik. Oh, because it's a music food agent, Scooter Brunch.
Nice.
You're probably going to see a Cray Charles Tails and Feathers in your locality right around maybe Q3 2025, Danners.
Yeah, we'll push
What
for
do we think?
Q3. Yeah, maybe get it out sooner with a luck and a fair wind,
I can see this being a huge hit in Listowel, County Kerry, Dave. What do you think?
Right next to their beachside tiki bar.
Yeah, if there are no lights in that restaurant, everything is getting robbed. So that Listowel is the perfect place to put it.
You robbed my crab.
Guys, you can tune in again next week to hear how we plan to turn a Hollywood star into a Michelin star. We are pitching our super restaurant ideas for a Marvel alum. I don't want to give too much away, but you might hear the likes of maybe Tom's Hollandaise, Crispy Evans, or Benedict's small batch cucumbers. Actually, now that I'm looking at this on my screen, there's like a Tom's Hollandaise and Eggs Benedict, something in that. What do you think?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. For sure.
With a Scarlett Johansson. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little thin, but I was focusing on the Benedict and Tom Holland. You got a Tom Hollandaise and on a Eggs Benedict cumber back bacon. I mean, it's something in there.
All right, let's save it for next week.
Or he's got Cumberland sausage as well. Do you know what I mean? That man is a walking food pun.
I fucked this up majorly. This shit is fucking dumb. Anyways. This has been Pitchfork, a show about celebrity restaurant chains. Until next time, keep shining and keep dining.
It's fantastic, it's clever, it's original. I don't know what to say, I'm speechless. This is not good.
1 minute, you 1 minute left.
I'm gonna change this plate. I want it to look tighter and cleaner.
Upstairs, get your bags packed.
This one's standard. It is absolutely on the money.
Welcome back to We Should Start a Podcast. We just heard me, Dino, pitch the Pitchfork Podcast, which I believe went swimmingly. As always, we will critique Pitchfork using the classic podcast rating system based on 3 criteria. And those criteria are, number 1, the concept or general idea of the show. Number 2, longevity. Do we think this show has legs to grow? And number 3, and most importantly, pod sauce. Pod sauce is the je ne sais quoi flair or extra spice to the podcast that makes it a winner. Pod sauce could be literally anything you enjoyed from the pod or something you think gave the pod some extra flavor. This week's pod sauce segment is sponsored by Cardi BBQ sauce. Oh, I can't do it. Damn it. I butchered that.
Did you practice that before, or did you just assume you could do it?
This was another 2 hours before work.
Eno's just in the mirror going,
I can't show my eyes either, so I would have done. So.
That was better than what I did. So after discussing the concept, longevity, and pod sauce, we will collectively rate the show as either a smash hit or should we trash it. Let's get into the ratings, and I'll take you through it, guys. So firstly, the concept. What did we think of the concept of the show, Davey H?
I like the concept. It was fun to do. It was an interesting idea. Pitching things is always fun, especially when myself and Danders are very much involved in it, as opposed to you hosting and you just kind of doing 95% of what's going on. It was a nice collaborative expedition, and I enjoyed it.
And you all did very well. Very good, boys. Danders, what do you think of the concept of the show?
Loved the concept as well. Really, really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun with it. I struggled even. I like the pun in the word. Obviously, it was less to do with music other than this episode, meaning it's a pitching restaurant podcast or whatever. So had super fun with that. I struggled to keep it music focused when I was thinking of ideas. I really wanted to do a Will Smith thing. I just couldn't get it out of my head. I was going to call it 7 pounds, and there was going to be some Chris Rock slap references in there.
Oh, that's good.
It was pound of flesh versus I don't know, give him a pound, or and everything costs 7 pounds, all this kind of stuff. But I was like, no. I was like, well, Will Smith is a musician. And I was like, but 7 pounds is not music related at all. So I had to back into Craig Charles' Tails and Feathers. But I think I ended up with something I was very happy with.
There would have been a lot there as well. He has a pretty fruitful career, a good range
For
of
sure.
what he's done.
We could do a whole Will Smith range of podcasts.
Yeah.
There'd be a lot of Gemini Man talk. Danders, I know you said you backed into Craig Charles' Tails and Feathers, but you came out of it victorious, so congratulations.
Good job.
Oh, much appreciated. I thought you guys did so well as well. I loved the Tiki Bar and the Stallion one. Yeah, it's a little off-piste, but for the right audience. the vegan horse, dirty girl lovers out there.
Yeah, it's not for everyone.
I'm not sure if you are aware, but there are, and this isn't to shit on your idea whatsoever. It was a fantastic idea, but there are restaurants that do that experience. Have you guys been to one or tried it out, or even seen it?
We do not check IP on this show, Dave.
Yeah, we don't.
Not check IP.
But I know there is one in Kitsilano, right?
I think so. Yeah, there's one in Vancouver. Anyway.
General experience or a blind crab shack
It's similar to what you were describing.
It's Craig Charles' Tails and Feathers.
I imagine, yeah.
What is it actually?
It's a similar to what you described. It's a dark restaurant that you can't really see shit.
Yeah. I know there are some of them ones as well. To be fair, I've never been to a vegan restaurant where everyone's on horseback.
No,
that's a fresh idea. That's a fresh idea. That's exactly the kind of thing that Scooter Brunch loves.
He's gonna eat it up with his avocado eggs. Yeah.
Ayo. Nice one, Danders. And with that great pun, care to take us through the longevity or your thoughts on the longevity?
I think that you could run wherever you want with this for sure. As creative as it gets, yeah. So I think you could do this forever for sure.
And as I said earlier on, it would be a cool niche to open a chain of restaurants that are based on celebrities, and I mean that in itself then could give us serious runway for that kind of pod as well. So yeah, definitely legs to grow.
So Dave, bring us through your pod sauce pick of the week.
So yeah, as I mentioned when we were talking about concept, I really enjoyed the fact that it was a very collaborative podcast. But I fucking love puns. I'm going to be such an annoying dad. So the fact that we were able to really just fucking drive those puns home, that's my pod sauce is the puns. pun sauce.
Yeah,
pod sauce.
did you guys have like some backups? I could run through a couple. Limp Biscuits.
That's good. That's really good. What else you got?
Slaughterhouse, bit of an obvious one. Bear Grylls, like that's my point. Is I realized some of these weren't music related, so I had to. Bear Grylls, which is like a whole grilled bear thing. Bananarama, Smokehouse on the Water, The Rolling Cones, that's been done. Johnny Smashburger, weak Johnny Cash reference. Yeah, and then I really wanted to do like a Death Row v Bad Boy restaurant, like East Coast v West Coast. I'm sure there was something in there, some freak off stuff you could do with that.
Some
as well.
freak off stuff for sure.
So,
yeah.
The world is rife. The world is
I
rife.
like Johnny Smash. Johnny Smash would be a great restaurant. You don't need to have
Nice.
burgers at the end. Johnny Smash would be
You're right.
perfect.
Johnny Smash is much better. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That one kind of writes itself.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure it's probably been done, but we do not check IP on this show.
Like Meatloaf is that's
Yeah,
I mean
yeah,
it's
yeah,
self-explanatory.
yeah. It's too
Meatloaf.
easy.
I have two different bakeries. One is Mumford and Buns, and then we have Pumper Nickelback. and then this is probably the biggest stretch. I have Blink One's 80s food.
Nice.
Why did that get me so much?
I don't even know what 80s food
80s
is.
food, yeah. Everything's
So
very
it's Blink
colorful.
One's 80s food.
Just on Pop Punk, you got a Bowling for Soup, which is kind of a bowling alley / restaurant where it's a soup
They
based
only
restaurant.
sell soup in a
Just
bowling
soup,
alley.
nothing else, just soup. It's a mess.
Yeah, it's a lot less messier than a blind crab shack, I tell you that.
Danders, do you have a pod sauce pick of the week?
My pod sauce of the week was definitely your transition musics, man. I need that download. That was fair play. All the 6 a.m. rises, all that was it. That was so fun. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into that song and into Vegan These Stallions. I'm a bit disappointed that it didn't go all the way to the top today, but hey, if I have the right attitude, I could make it a reality sometime in the future.
That's right.
So we've heard your thoughts on the concept, longevity, and heard your pod sauce picks. Now I will go around the table and get a final rating from both of you guys. Is Pitchfork a smash hit, or should we trash it? Dave.
Yeah, man, it was super fun. So it is in fact a Johnny Smash hit.
Damn, stole my bit. Yeah, I was gonna do the same
Oh,
thing.
it's mine now, baby.
Delicious.
And Danders.
It's a double Johnny Smash. A double Johnny Smash.
There we
for
go.
me.
Delicious.
Whoa, and it is a smash hit from me, of course. And with that resounding positive response, the Pitchfork podcast is a certifiable smash hit. But at WSSAP, we like to hedge our bets. So until we can get this bad boy into production, we will continue plotting, pitching, and of course podding until we are certain we have the next pod smash on our hands. Any closing statements, guys?
So do you think, like, we're probably, what, 7 episodes in at this stage? At some point, the listeners are going to realize that they're all smash hits. At what point are they going to feel a bit dubious about it? 6?
Well, they're all smash hits, Dave,
Because
because
they're
the
all
ideas
smash
are
hits.
fucking
They're all
wild.
fucking class.
They're wildly good
Wait
ideas.
till we pitch a bad idea and then we'll see what happens, okay?
Okay.
You heard it here first. Listen out for Pitchfork coming soon exclusively to the Cardi BBQ Wet Ass Podcast app. If you think that we should start Pitchfork, please rate, subscribe, and let us know at WSSAP Official on Instagram and X, formerly known as Twitter. That's WSSAP Official on Instagram and X. We are inches away from a huge idea, and you can tune in again next week to hear us pitch that next hit show. And I really think that one is going to put some dollar signs in Scooter Brunch's eyes. What do you think?
He's licking his lips already.
He's floating through a window smelling pie, and the pie is our podcast.
I sure hope so.
But until next week, guys, please keep your ears to the grindstone. And remember the cynical words of the renowned 18th century food critic Duncan Hines. If the soup had been as warm as the wine, if the wine had been as old as the turkey, and if the turkey had had a breast like the maid, it would have been a swell podcast. See you next time.